This is the 3D VIEW-MASTER tale 101 Dalmatians by Walt Disney. VIEW-MASTER Reel 1. Disappearing Dogs. Picture 1. My name is Pongo. I'm a Dalmatian coach dog who lives in London. My pet, Roger, is a musician of sorts. He was a bachelor until one day in the park I tangled my leash around the loveliest girl in London and caused her and Roger to fall into the lake. They got married soon after that, and I wed Anita's little Dalmatian, Perdita. It wasn't long until Perdita announced that she was going to become a mother. We were both delighted, although I was a little nervous. But after all, dear, dogs were having puppies long before our time. Perdita chirped happily. Picture 2. Then one day the witch woman came. She wanted to buy our puppies before they were even born. Cruella de Vil was her name. I despised her. Furs, she cried. I live for furs. I worship furs. I can never have enough for coats. Just name your price. I'll take the whole litter. I'm afraid that we can't give them up, Anita said. Cruella laughed wildly. Enough of this nonsense. Come now, when can the puppies leave their mother? Never, Roger said firmly. Why, you horrible man! Cruella screamed. Keep the little beasts for all I care. Do what you like with them. Drown them. But I warn you, I'll get even if it's the last thing I do. Fools! Idiots! She flounced out the front door and slammed it so hard the glass shattered. Picture 3. The puppies arrived right on schedule. It was a wild, stormy night in October, and the thunder and lightning shook the whole house. Roger and I waited up most of the night. Perdita had triples 5 times over 15 puppies, practically a record. Picture 4. The puppies began to grow and get their spots. How those little rascals loved television. They especially liked the Western serial starring Thunderbolt the police dog. They would sit in front of the TV in rapt attention, thumping their tails and barking. Come on, Thunderbolt! Come on, boy! Picture 5. Lucky, get down! They would have to yip yap from time to time. Lucky, the little puppy, always got so doggoned excited that he would stand on his hind legs and try to climb right into the screen. Picture 6. One night, after the puppies were tucked into their basket, Perdita and I went for a walk with our pets. While we were gone, 2 thugs broke into the house. The one called Jasper locked up Nanny, the housekeeper, in the closet, while the other, Horace, stuffed the puppies into a large satchel. Picture 7. Nanny finally broke out of the closet and ran downstairs to check the silverware. Common sneak thieves, probably made off with every last spoon. As she was going into the kitchen, she saw the empty basket under the sink. The puppies! She screamed. Why, those crooked scoundrels have copied the puppies! Help, police! Help! Help! VIEW-MASTER Reel 2. The Twilight Bark. Picture 8. Scotland Yard, the police, Roger and Anita, did everything possible, but the dog-napped puppies could not be found. It's up to us now, I told Purdy. Oh, Pongo, is there any hope? Yes, the Twilight Bark. The Twilight Bark. But, dear, that's only a gossip chain. But it's the fastest way to send news. And if our puppies are anywhere in the city, the London dogs will know. We'll send a word tonight when our pets take us for a walk in the park. Later, while out walking, I bayed and barked, and finally there was a distant bow-wow. Purdy, we're in luck, it's Danny, the great Dan, over at Hampstead, Danny told the boxer, who told Goldie the hound, who told Bruno the bulldog, who told Wellington the poodle, and so it went over London and then all over England. In Suffolk, an old sheep-dog named Colonel hung out his ear to get the news. He got the message and passed it on to Captain, a horse, and to Sergeant Tibbs, a cat. Colonel, sir, I just remembered, mewed Tibbs. 2 nights past, I heard puppies barking over at Hell Hall. You mean the old Deville place? Asked the Colonel. Stuff and nonsense. Ain't no one lived there for years. Hold on, snorted Captain the horse. Maybe no one is living there, but smoke is puffing out of the chimney. By Jove, that's strange. We'd better investigate. Picture 9. When Tibbs went to Hell Hall and poked his head through a hole in the living room hall, he saw puppies and more puppies. Hey, Spotty, are you one of the 15 stolen Dalmatians? He asked the nearest whelp. Oh, no, we're not stolen. We're bought and paid for. There's 99 of us all together. We came from pet shops in London. That bunch of little ones over there by the TV with names and collars have just arrived. Blimey, but they're docked on television. Picture 10. Purdy and I finally got the message from the Dane. When you reach Withermarsh, contact the Colonel and he will take you to the Deville place, said the Dane. Deville! The Deville place, did you say? Wailed Perdita. It was her. I had a suspicion that witch hired bad aunts to steal my babies. It was a long trip. When we reached the crossroads, we had a difficult time deciding which road to take. Picture 11. Meanwhile, Cruella roared through the gates of Hell Hall in her sleek sports car. She stormed into the locked room, wildly waving and shouting at the 2 thugs. Now listen, you fools, I've no time to argue with you. The job has to be done tonight. We'll get on with it soon as the TV show is over. I want to watch What's My Crime, said Jasper. Tonight, you idiots. The cops are everywhere. But they ain't big enough, said Horace. You couldn't get half a dozen dog skin coats out of the whole caboodle. Then we'll settle for half a dozen, screamed Cruella. How we gonna do it? Asked Jasper. I don't care how you kill the little beasts. Poison them, drown them, bash their heads in, or use chloroform. But the job better be done tonight, she yelled as she slammed the front door, cracking the ceiling plaster. Picture 12. Psst! Hey kids, whispered Tibbs. You'd better get out of here if you want to save your skins. There's a hole in the wall over here, so come on, shake a leg and follow me. While Jasper and Horace were watching What's My Crime, the 99 Dalmatian puppies followed Tibbs through the escape hole and down the hall of the old mansion. Picture 13. We'd better get the mess over, said Horace, turning off the TV. Jasper picked up the butcher knife and turned around to grab a pup, only to discover they weren't there. They rushed out and went tearing down the steps, 2 at a time, waving their flashlights. We'll get 'em, Horace. We'll find 'em. We'll Skin every one of them little spotted hyenas if it's the last thing we do. Picture 14. Suddenly, Jasper saw them behind the staircase. He picked up a club and ran madly toward them. Now we got them, Horace. They can't outsmart us. We'll do them in and skin them right here. VIEW-MASTER Reel 3. Cruella's chase, picture 15. The window crashed and Perdita and I jumped into the room, barking loudly. I ripped the seat out of Jasper's pants and the thug howled with pain. Perdita pulled the rug out from under Horace with her teeth. He fell back over me and hit the floor with a great kaboom. Picture 16. The 99 Dalmatian puppies took off after Perdita and me, and they raced as fast as they could across the snowy fields toward London. When they crossed the main road, they heard Cruella's car. After the last pup had crossed, I broke off a tree branch with which I brushed away their tracks. I had to run as I heard the car coming. Picture 17. Cruella came roaring down the road in her souped-up car. When she came to the crossing, her wheels began to spin in the snow. Looking out the window, she saw the dog tracks with her witch eyes. Picture 18. When we reached a village, a Labrador retriever led us to the shelter of a blacksmith's shop. He pointed out to us a moving van with engine trouble. As soon as it is fixed, the lorry is going to London. He barked softly. The puppies began to play and roll in the soot of the old fireplace. They were black as coal and all their spots were gone. Goodness, you look like Labradors, I growled. Suddenly, I had a real bright idea. Hey, I've got it. We'll all be Labradors and fool that old hag. Now line up, all of you, and get in there and roll around in that suit. With many puppy laughs and sneezes, we went to it and the suit began to fly. When the smoke cleared, there were 101 Labradors. Picture 19. Horace and Jasper pulled up beside Cruella's sports car. She rolled down the window and glared. Those little monsters are in this village somewhere and we've got to find them. While Cruella was giving orders, I led the blackened puppies to the lorry. As the last puppy was coming out of the blacksmith shop, snow fell off the eaves and washed him clean. But before Cruella could yell, the van started off. Picture 20. Cruella tore out after the truck, and Jasper and Horace chased after Cruella, and the maddest race was on. Cruella went one way to head off the van. Crash the lorry, she screamed. Horace and Jasper shot down another road to head it off. At the intersection there was a great crash. Cruella's sports car drove into the ditch, and Jasper and Horace were wrecked on the other side of the road. Picture 21. It was Christmas Eve. Roger and Anita were lonely in a dogless house. When they heard us bark at the front door, Roger went to open it, and 101 dogs ran helter-skelter into the living room. Look, Labradors, hundreds of them, Roger shouted. No, no, they are our dogs covered with soot, cried Anita. What a wonderful Christmas present. But what shall we do with all of them, she asked. We'll keep them, all 101. In this little house? We'll buy a big place in the country, a Dalmatian plantation. Roger sat down at the piano and began putting words to music. Pongo+Perdita and 99 happy little puppies soon began to bark the chorus of Roger's new song. The Dalmatian plantation. The musical barking floated out of the little house and filled the streets of London.